Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Gundam video. Today we're going to be theory crafting what my deck is going to look like for purple red CBs after GD05. Now, we only have right now, as of this recording, I think 2 CB cards. You have the Repair Exia and the Curios flight mode. So if they do drop more, then my deck will probably change. But what I've been able to do is on EX Burst, add the decks, make the deck how I want it. Apparently people are viewing the deck because I guess I have it on public, so they're able to see it. I've been trying to make a bunch of decks and really utilize EX Burst, test different decks out, and I just find that this is a very, very helpful tool. So what I wanted to show you guys is what I have for this deck. And I was able to play test this 2 ways. One with Wings Table against AI, but on top of that, there is a new jank way to play. There is a new software being built or being used. There's some bugs with it as well, but we were able to play against someone else, and I don't remember the name right now off the top of my head, but we were able to play with another simulator, and it was actually pretty decent. But this simulator, I was able to play with someone else using the cards. If you give MSA, about a week and a half, all the cards should be on their beta website. But if you really, really want to play against someone else, there is I'll try to find the link again. I'll put it down below. But this is what I've been using, trying things out, testing certain things. If you've seen my purple red CB deck, you kind of know what my main premise is really to make sure on curve, Exia, Cessna, and Trans Am go off on their turn, no issues. That is the main goal of CBs, is to really be able to get their effect off and control early on as much as possible. Now, with that being said, the new card, we're going to talk about it. We'll make a video on all the CBs. If there's more than just 2, we'll make a video regarding it. But it is Gundam Exia Repair. This is the newest card that was revealed maybe a couple days ago. Very, very solid unit. One of the things I mentioned about CBs is we need a way inherently to mill cars early in the game as quick as possible. And Bandai listened and saw, yes, we need to give them a way to mill. Something to be more consistent at having on turn 5, on turn 7, those units to be able to do what they need to do. Now, it is a 2-1 stat line, but keep in mind that it is a 2-1 level cost as well, which means this is be early on with your old Gundam as well. You can drop both of them. You can be kind of aggressive, and that's kind of my play style with CBs too, if you see my CB deck profile. And on top of that, let's just read. When this unit deals battle damage to a unit level 4 or lower that has no pair pilot, destroy that enemy unit. Now, there's some pros and cons when it comes to this. One, it forces your opponent to put a pilot on a unit that's level 4 or lower. If not, my Exia is going to go ahead and attack it, die, and take out their unit. If it's level 4 or lower, no pilot. So if you have a Gundam unpaired, I'm going to go and smack it, take it out. If you have an Adept unpaired, take it and smack it out. And then on top of that, when destroyed, place the top 2 cards of the deck into the trash, which helps with the milling early on. Now, very important, a couple things that you can counter this right away is you can use a card called Kind-Hearted, right above my head. This card is a blue card that during this turn, friendly units cannot be destroyed by enemy effect. If you know your opponent's going to attack you, because I declare my Exia to attack your unit that's rested level 4, you can activate Kind-Hearted and that unit will not be destroyed, and you would get the draw off as well. So something to keep in mind, there are some counters to this. It's not like, this is another death touch, can't get rid of it. This will definitely be able to handle that. and in this deck can be very hurtful. Mewtwo, great early on. It is a Cessna Link, which is extremely important, that in my top deck end game, if I need to be able to swing, I need one more unit to finish off, and I have a Cessna, I can go ahead and link it and swing. All that together makes an overall really solid card. The fact that it's 2/1 means that on turn 2, I can drop it. If I'm going second, I can drop this and have this out there. So overall, really, really solid unit. Typically, the only thing that can really hit this is close combat on turn 2 and or Reformationists. Those two are the only thing level 2 or lower that can smack this and ping this. Anything else cannot ping until turn 4, which is why I feel safe with this being a turn 2. If it was a turn 3, I wouldn't like it as much. But the fact it's a turn 2 makes those plays very, very helpful. Again, making it very early on aggressive by having the Repair and the old Gundam. Old Gundam, I'm running at 3. I like it. I can be aggressive. The problem I was having by putting 4 and 4 together was late game is not a link. Late game, 1 cost is okay. As you see in the deck, I have some side decking that I'm trying to figure out as well. This is just me theory crafting. This is great for these 1/1 costs, but besides that, early on aggression is awesome. If not, late game, if I don't have a way to do anything, it kind of sucks a little bit. And I was playing with my buddy Scott, and we were playing, and I just noticed like we might have to cut something down to 1 to make room for a 5th base. So that's exactly what we did. We ended up cutting this down for a 5th base. 4 Virtue, the blockers, overall solid. 3 Exias, the red one. Against aggro, amazing. Amazing card against aggro. If you're not against aggro, this card kind of hurts you. Against tokens, this can work. But besides that, it kind of sucks. But against aggro, this is amazing. Which is why in this deck, Cessna is amazing with it, right? You can link it if you need to. Hit for 5 on swing. Very, very helpful. But 4, I was seeing it a lot more often. And again, if you play against non-aggro deck, this kind of hurts you a little bit. So I think 3 is just enough to make sure I see 1 while I'm playing against aggro, but not enough to worry about seeing too many of them. So that's just what I see with Exia. Next, you have the new one, Gundam Kyrios Flight Mode. Because Hallelujah is in the deck, and Kyrios, why not have it at 4? This card pretty much on turn, if there's a unit rested, enemy unit rested, you can go ahead and deploy and swing and rush, which I think any card that typically breaks the 2-card combo or changes the mechanics of the game a little bit, I think is a really, really solid card. And the fact that you can just drop this, swing at their unit because it's rested without needing a pilot might make your opponent think twice about resting a unit when you can just go ahead and swing for 3. And they might feel safe that their unit is sideways because you would have to drop a link and commit to taking out their unit. Well, no, I can go ahead and drop this, swing for 3, and take that out. So that also plays a factor into a lot of things. So there's plays where you can use Cessna on another unit to buff this. This becomes 4 and swings for 4. There's just plays you can do with this, which is nice. It is linkable, so technically if you need it and you top deck and you have Hallelujah, you top deck it, you can go ahead and link and then swing for game or swing for whatever you need to in a top deck situation. So, let's see, what else? You have 3 Kyrioses. Now, if you've seen my Purple Red CB, I talked about Kyrios is amazing LR. He is, but he sucks without the pilot. 1 AP sucks. Without that pilot, it kind of just a high cost 1 AP unit. So with that being said, I have it down to 3. I want to see this more mid to late game as much as possible. Mid to late game is when I want to see this. On curve, I don't want to see this. This is more to get rid of my opponent. This is good to late game, get my drawing, get more cards to my hand. This is what that's for. And by having early on, as you see here, I have like 4, 7, 11, 14, and 18 units, if my math is mathing right, that are 3 or lower level units, which makes this deck super aggressive. Now, playing against, an aggro deck can be very, very helpful. You being aggressive just as when they're aggressive. But if you're playing late game, having so many makes it kind of hurts the deck a little bit, which is why I wanted to make sure I have Exia at 4 in this deck. Milling can be very, very important, especially if you think about the way this works. Turn 2, you drop this unit. Okay? If you destroy this unit and you mill it, yes, 3 CB cards potentially in the grave. If you have Exia and Cessna, you mill 2, that's 5 already. So that means in turn 3 to 5, I need to have 2 more units in the grave for Cessna's effect and their active resource to become live. Very, very, very possible. If you happen to mill a non-CB card, it doesn't hurt it. It does change the plans up a little bit, but I feel like being so early on aggressive, plus having these as an option to mill and have that, I think you're going to be able to go ahead and be live on curve when you need it to be, which is why I love how Exia is set up, the repair, because being early on, that gives you 2 turns to just 2 more units in the graveyard or 2 more CDs in the graveyard, which I think honestly is not a tall feat to do. I think that is very, very possible, especially if you get 2 of these out on the field. It's just super silly. You can make sure you always have this live. So 4, just make sure that I see that Exia and I can go ahead and pair it and get the effect to mill 2 and get that effect going. Next, you have G Armor. Blocker, amazing. It's a linkable unit. It can link with any of the 2 of the pilots that I'm using, and just helps late game as well. Trans Am, boss ending game card. Have 10 in the grave. You can pop one of their lowest units if you hit a shield area. With that, the biggest issue with Trans Am is that your opponent has blockers. If you guys seen the new command that was released, and I'll go right to it. This command is a 6/6 widespread annihilation. This is the dark hole of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is going to destroy all level 4 lower units, including your own. Keep that in mind. If you are a wing player and you know you're going to blow up your own field, you swing with your weenies to get some shield, and then you blow up everything. And that's exactly what you do here too. You will drop your weenies, swing it, and then annihilate. Blow up everything, and then that leaves you for next turn to drop this. Why that's important is because turn 6, you can drop this. Turn 7, the next following turn, you can drop Trans Am with Cessna and go in. And hopefully, if they have an Ale with Cessna, all right, I took out one of their biggest blocker and probably blew up their fields. This just overall super solid. I like it. The fact that it's before turn 7 is why I like it. I took out Throne Eins to put this in the deck because I feel like if they have multiple blockers, lift with 2 4s, Throne Eins is not going to blow them up, but this will. So we're trying it out. I think this might be a staple of 1 or 2 in a purple deck because how powerful this is. If this was level 5 or lower, honestly, I think it would be broken. Getting rid of silver bullets, getting rid of Ales, it would be pretty broken. But it is a high cost. You can't do nothing else on turn 6 if you activate this, which again, inherently, it's not that bad. Next, you have For Ptolemies, with Ptolemios here specifically being a way to slow down aggro, and any units that are level 3 or lower have to smack my rested units first, then smack that. So having Repair swinging at their shield, having this, they have to swing out this early on if they want to. Next, I'm running 3 damage controls here. If you see my aggro CB deck, I had no commands because I wanted to perfectly on curve get Exia, Cessna, and Transm's effect always. Now, you have a way to consistently always mill, well, not always, but have a good milling early on, milling here, and then milling either with the shield or my units to get my effects. With that, I started to now add commands into the deck. A little bit more control-y, damage control, amazing card, pretty much an unforeseen in the deck, with taking 3 less damage on battle, which is very, very nice. They might not see this coming. This is a card that I really like with Exia. If I get that resource back from having 7 in the grave, I get this and this becomes live. They swing at Exia, I drop damage control, take less damage. My unit stays alive, their unit dies. Awesome. So damage control, really, really solid. I like it at 3 because, again, I want to see it. It's probably one of my best command to use. I do have 1 Arm Intervention. Arm Intervention does have a nice burst with a draw 1, which is nice. I would put this at 2, but honestly, I'd rather have ways to keep more units and on top of that, have more CBs versus having another command. You could go 2 damage control, 2 arm interventions if you wanted to, but me personally, I like the damage control a little bit more than arm intervention, but I still like 1 arm intervention because arm intervention is really solid. And if I can make room, if this doesn't work out like the way I have it, and I tested it a few times, and I wish I had the recording, unfortunately did not get the good recording on it, but Widespread Ruin blows up the field, and then you're set up for your Transams. Just overall, really solid card. If this wasn't a card in this game, I probably would have more, probably 2 arm interventions. But this card is just really good, and I kind of want to make it work. 4 Hallelujahs, 4 Cessnas, 8 pilots. Not running more than 8. Can I? Yes. Would I run Arde? Sure. Arde will give me a draw. Now, as you see my side deck here, Throne Irons, amazing card. I do like it. I do like that it can rest and then on top of that, do 2 damage to everything. I started to look at my deck and say, man, there's times where I wish I can just break the base, but I have a bunch of 2/2s, so I have the Repair and the Exia, and I can't break it without, putting a pilot on or having Virtue or Curios already out. If I have this on turn 4, I can go ahead and start swinging. 1 unit swings, and then I activate this to then go ahead and buff up my 2/2s or my 2/1s to make it a 4 to break their EX base, and then start going in. Place a factor into it. So on top of that, if they decide to activate Kind-Hearted on my Repair to stop their block or stop their units from, I could then drop Trinity and buff it to 4 and hopefully take out their 4 AP or 4 HP unit either way, and then buff my other units. So these are cards that I am tinkering around with. There are other cards I am tinkering around with, but these are the 2 recently that I was playing around with, like interchangeably, like, ooh, let me put this in here, let me take this out, put that in there, let me see how this feels. But my turn 4 plays are very lackluster, which is why I'd rather have more units out than have 1 Curios. Curios, like I said, I want it and I would like to have it, but if I can't consistently get the Hallelujah plays, it kind of sucks right away. So that's why, again, if I need it, if I really, really, really need it and I don't have this, then I can put it on this early on, get the draw 1 in a sense, if it's a CB, obviously. And that's pretty much it. This is, again, theory crafting with the new CB cards coming out of GD05. If at the end of the week they decide to drop more, we will obviously update you guys, obviously after, I think. But we will, well, I will do is I will make a video talking about all the cars that I personally like in the G and the CBs and the G team slash, you know, the preventers with the endless waltz. Those are the 3 series that I kind of like a lot, and I want to be able to, you know, talk about those cars, maybe decks that I can be running with them. And that's pretty much it. The next video I have for you guys, if you guys are interested, will be a G Fighter, G Gundam deck, the MF's deck, and I want to showcase that video for theory crafting as well. I think overall that deck is going to be very, very solid. And I think we almost have everything besides Argo and Bolt, unless they drop a couple more units out there. But we have yet to get that at the current recording of this video, which is July 6th. So overall, this is my deck. Let me know what you guys think. Theory crafting, I think now with Repair in the deck at 2, level 2, still super solid unit. I think you're going to see Repair in a lot of other decks too, because it doesn't have to be specifically linked to a unit. And you don't need a CB. It can take out a level 4 unit on its own without having any other traits requirements needed. You don't have to have a blue moon with a high tide, and you need to have enough of this and that. Like, this is just overall a solid card. And then on top of that, it mills. So having that milling effect was also can be very good for like a purple white Barbados deck as well. Early on, aggressive mill can very, very helpful for that. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys in our next video. Peace.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.